It is the 31st of December. I know what you're here for. Yeah, it's year in review time. It is year in review time. It is year in review time. That's right. I'm announcing here that I think it's definitely a tradition now, a yearly tradition now, that every 31st December of the year we just do a year in review. Well, then again, still not so guaranteed, even though it's been already like five, 6 times actually. Now that this is the sixth edition that we are doing a year in review on the 31st of December. So probably safe to say that we are gonna always do a year review in on the 31st of December. So that's cool. Anyway, welcome back to another edition of Year in Review. It is 2024, or rather, 2024 is going to end pretty soon. So, yeah, welcome back. Um, Pretty much this year has been, yeah, we're going to jump straight into it because, I always take very fucking long to get into the main point here. Pretty much this year has been pretty good. Good vibes, good feel. Uh, I don't know how else to say it, but pretty much I feel like this year has been kind of like 2023 in a way. Um, and I mean, rightfully so also because it's an even numbered year. But I think at this point, it doesn't really matter. I've said before that I think it doesn't really matter if it's an odd or even numbered year. I think it depends on what you're doing at this point. So but you usually I think it's just a pure coincidence from especially the last decade, right? The previous decade, I felt that the odd numbered years were years that I would be suffering in quite a lot more than the even numbered years. But going into this decade, it seems like that sort of coincidence or the sort of feel has sort of faded away by now. Nonetheless, I guess that means there's more exciting things coming around. I suppose maybe I finally will not be bogged down by things, doing things that I don't enjoy or whatever, right? But yeah, pretty much things I've been doing in the last year in 2023, I've also been doing this year as well. Same thing, like generally still finding food places and the delicious, I wouldn't say delicious, the tasty taping stalls. So I still go and do those. Still go and explore and whatnot. Although I would say towards the fourth quarter this year, I've been doing a little bit less since I've been wanting to do other things other than that, which I won't get into because it's. I mean, I think it's other sort of interests. I'm in this phase where it's like, I genuinely do not know what to actually do. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to find where or what I want to do. So that's pretty much what it is. Ever since I've been dismissed from college, very very thing to talk about. But nonetheless, as a quick mention that since my dismissal, I've actually been enjoying life through touching grass a lot more. That's right. So, been exploring the country a little bit through doing finding food places. So, other than trying to find places and in search of solid interests, other than that, I've this year specifically was a bit special because I've been going on a some wonderful road trips recently. Although it's more towards like the second half of the year that I've been going on really amazing, wonderful road trips to Malaysia specifically. So I've done like three of them. So one in June, one in July, which is pretty fast, I know, and one just recently in November. So it's pretty action packed, I'd say. And the one in November was actually quite, I believe it's like the longest road trip I've ever done. Um, and also like I think the longest overseas trip to Malaysia that I've ever done. Because usually when we do these road trips, it's always like just up to like 4 or 5 days. This one was like 7 days. So It's only just a little bit more, but um, 7 days is a pretty big deal. Quite a lot of days. 4 days in 4 days in KL, the capital. Is it 4 days? Yeah, three and a half actually. But and then the other 2 days was in Cameron. So we were pretty much like the first day, the fifth day, and the seventh day is actually the road trip. So, but I consider it collectively 7 days, even though there was not much of a road trip on the second, third, fourth, and the sixth days. So, 4 days of just pretty much traveling within the areas of where we're at. So that's not really a road trip, but nonetheless, it's still a road trip. 7 days collectively, it is a road trip. Damn it. June and July. June actually went to KL as well, but pretty much only in one area. That's about it. July went to Malacca. I went to Malacca for my birthday as well. It happened to we happened to do it during my birthday week. So because because my family is also like a lot of them, a lot of my family, pretty much everyone's on holiday basically on that week. So I pretty much went to Malacca for like 3 days. So uh, on my birthday week on 3 days. So yeah. Nonetheless, this year has been pretty much more action-packed locally and globally. So yeah. So likewise for last year, I think that there's a bit of a format I'm following now. So pretty much I start talking about generally what how this year has been, and then talk about local global events that has that that I find is my favorite, and or rather that has kind of like made an impact in some way. um, but and then also lastly then it's like kind of like keeping track of channel developments, summary of this year's channel developments, which again I don't put emphasis on that much these past few year reviews, but nonetheless it is something that I do to keep track of what's been done in the channel developments. Nonetheless, let's start with. I'll just briefly go through some of the global and local affairs that I find has I wouldn't say impacted either. I don't think it made like a very big impact, but it's sort of like still kind of in a way fresh in my mind. You know, such as the assassination attempts. I know it's already already starts off very grim, but it's an event that's been very significant this year. Assassination attempt not once but twice on Trump. So, and especially yes, also linked with that is the whole election thing. This year has been like action packed with a lot of election. Apparently, I heard that like almost half the world is going through almost half the world is voting this year. So which is pretty significant. So the United States, the UK, I think if I'm not wrong, Georgia, India, I think, Bangladesh, if I'm not wrong, Taiwan rather, Taiwan and Indonesia. That's right. They're all going through elections this year. So it's a pretty action-packed year this year. So in terms of election year, so therefore you can tell I've been keeping up with a lot of political developments this year. So Trump assassination attempts, especially the first one in July, was a pretty big deal because he really almost died in that one. Really, like very very whisker, like a close whisker away from death. But he managed to survive, and there were a lot of memes coming out from that. Like one of my favorites was the although it's a bit but it's a bit of a JoJo meme. Apparently getting shot at the ear is a JoJo reference apparently in Steel Ball Run. I don't want to spoil anything though, but I mean to begin with, I don't know about the story about Steel Ball Run, although I know some through plot summary, but specific details I would not know. But apparently it's a JoJo reference now that again shot at a deer. Um, so I don't know if you guys saw that meme, but anyway, it was kind of funny. Other than that, pretty much definitely fresh in my mind is one that happened this month in South Korea. So um, this was this one is certainly a very desperate attempt, definitely very political, to declare martial law. Thankfully, that only lasted for 6 hours. 6 hours over there, and things settled down. Well, it hasn't really settled down since. It's still in a political crisis up till this point. Two impeachments. So, um, yeah, it's pretty wild going on over there. But yeah, so that's on global affairs. Local affairs, I'm more familiar, of course, because where the am I living? That's right. Taylor Swift, I mentioned last year that Taylor Swift's going to hold a concert here. She held a 6 night concert here, and it is the only stop in Southeast Asia that she performed in. Every other country, Indonesia, Malaysia, I don't know how, but she did not perform there. But basically, because our government here is very haha grant, please come and perform. So I don't know. Some deal was struck, some deal was made, and she was made to. She performs here for 6 nights, and everyone in the area in the Southeast Asia region just all flew to Singapore. And yeah, tourism here is like 500 million or something dollars, by the way. No, I'm not saying 500. It is impossible for 500 million people to come here. Don't don't worry about that. Okay, that will be excessive, very exaggerated stuff. Um, but yeah, it was pretty impressive 6 night concert. I didn't attend, of course, but still, a lot of the stuff that was talked about the 6 night concert is like wow, big, whoa, I don't know how else to say it, but another thing that happened within local affairs is that we have a new prime minister. Yes, that's right. Lawrence Wong takes over after Lee Hsien Loong sits after Lee Hsien Loong prime minister for 19 years, 20 years. So pretty big deal. But you know, every day is a new day. What else can I say? Well, yeah, I mean that. Sure, he takes over as new PM and uh, leads his ruling party into the next elections that's to be held next year. Pretty big deal. But yeah, that's pretty much local affairs. If I were to talk, one more thing is Labubu. No, I don't think I want to talk about that. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I respect the grind of Labubu collections, whatever, but I don't invest. I don't indulge in the Labubu shit. I find it's way overhyped. But anyway, uh, finally, let's keep track of some of the developments that's been happening on this channel. So far, I've made 14 videos this year, including this video, of course. It's about the same as last year, so impressive. Although four of them, well, it's only four of them, but four of them are bus ride videos, so I wouldn't say it's like made, but nonetheless, at least published 14 videos this year. So that's for sure. So yeah, which is pretty interestingly fun. I think was it last year or 2022 I said that I wasn't gonna upload much this year. I can't remember, but well, I've uploaded a lot, so there you go. Still managed to upload at least one video a month. Oh, I think I might have skipped 1 month, but I can't be sure. But nonetheless, 14 videos this year, so kind of feels like one video a month. So yeah. So, but yeah, pretty much I'm still keeping track of political developments, more than other kinds of developments, which is not surprising. Obviously, I would be, you would think I'm keeping up with gaming developments. Yeah, I do, but um, I don't seem to really have much of a yes, surprise, surprise. Even though my channel name is literally gaming related, but um, I you can definitely tell I've been kind of like moving away from gaming. So Whether or not I'll change my channel name, that's another question, which maybe not. I don't know. We see how that goes. But yeah, this year has been quite a good amount of political news, due to it being an election year, in a lot of countries, you know. So U.S., UK, whatnot, you know, the ones I mentioned just now. But yeah, generally I feel pretty excited about the prospects of this year. There's a lot of many positive things that happened. Well, mainly because I went on road trips and doing things that I like to do. You know, do this, do that. You know, try this, try that as well. So it's a pretty impressive thing with that. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for this year. Life update. I want to give a bit of a life update with this. Apart from everything else, you know. So I wanted to kind of I wanted to kind of like do a bit of a what do you call that? Preface this in somehow. Or I mean, it's okay. It's an update basically. So I'm gonna be enlisting to enlisting into military soon. Which is they call it national service here in Singapore. NS in short is what they call it. So which means finally 2025 may finally be the year where I don't upload as much for once. And I think rightfully so. I should probably put this YouTube thing in sort of like a secondary priority instead of a primary one, which I've already been, which that has been the thing for quite a long time already. So, because yeah, I did mention before, I don't want to I don't want to do this as like a main focus thing now, since I'm now doing like other stuff now. So I'm not so much into wanting to do this as a primary thing, but nonetheless, enlisting next year, very soon, is going to be pretty intense stuff. Should be, I should be right this time that definitely this coming year I am not going to be uploading very much. But yeah, I don't know if I said that this year 2024 I was going to upload less, but if that's what I said, I take it back. It clearly looks like I can upload a lot, but definitely 2025 I should not be uploading too much. Okay, so I think I want to put my focus on trying to serve in the military first, than to think about video ideas all the time. So yeah, but anyway, I think you get what I mean with all this. Thank you very much for watching. It has been a very wonderful year this year. Genuinely, honestly, it has been it it, it has been, although it's like 2023 but plus more action, more excitement this year. So yeah, locally, globally, within my circle of things and whatnot, it's pretty exciting stuff. So anyway, that's about it, and yeah, see you in the next video.